Hey there, it's Seb again. In this video I quickly want to add on to the previous video I made about pitching a kick with the 3x ask and how to hack around that problem that you can only pitch so high. So the previous video sounded like this at the end. Without the pitch hack, it sounded like this. And let's just enable this one for now. And if you haven't seen that video, just look up the previous video, watch it, and then come back to this video, because I'm about to share another tip you can use to create extra punch in your already punchy kick. So how do we do that? How do we create extra punch in an already punchy kick? Now the way to do that, there are different ways to do that, but in this video I want to show you a very quick, easy trick you can immediately use to get the extra snappiness, extra punchiness in your kick. So when we go over to the 3x ask, here it is. We can look at the pitch envelope we created in the previous video, but we want an extra snap, and therefore we have to look at the filter section. This is the filter section. By the way, if you want to learn in more detail everything about your synthesizer, you can grab the Sound Design for Beginners guide via the link in the description below. That's a guide I've written for anyone who's basically relatively new to music production and who wants to know exactly how each setting on the synthesizer works and what it means and how you can manipulate them to create the sounds you want. So it starts with understanding. Once you understand your synthesizer, it's way easier to make the sounds you want and also to make it sound way more professional. So go ahead, click the link in the description down below and pick up your copy of the Sound Design for Beginners guide. So back to this video. The filter section controls the frequency range within your sound. You can manipulate that, and the way to manipulate it here is just a matter of trial and error to see how it sounds best. So let's quickly jump in. Let's quickly play around with these settings here. And so you have to pay attention to the punch of the kick and how it helps to create extra snappiness in it. So I'll play it and I'll play around here with the filter section, and you just have to take a listen to it. All right? Now, when I start tweaking these knobs, you hear like resonant frequency at the very start of the kick, and that adds on to the already punchy pitch sweep in the beginning. So it emphasizes the punch that's already there. And you have to play around a little bit with the filter cutoff and the filter resonance settings, and also the filter type settings, in order to seek the punch you're after. So it adds onto the punch, and it's up to you to decide how you want it to sound, and this is specifically useful to emphasize the punch, but also when you make more distorted kick drums, it can really add some crunch and some bark at the very start of your sound, because it's basically just adding some extra frequencies that gets distorted. So they gather at the meat of the kick, which is in the beginning. Maybe that sounds confusing, but I can explain it a little bit. Let's say that, like, when you look at this image here, you can see it like this is a higher frequency than this. So let's just say this is around 49 Hertz, and let's assume this is around, I don't know, 1000 Hertz, just for an example. Because the filter influences the frequency the cutoff is currently at. So let's say the cutoff is currently at a 500 Hertz. Then you can hear that coming through in any sound that is around that 500 Hertz. But when you go to a 50 Hertz, you can add frequencies at 500 Hertz, but at 50 Hertz you don't hear it. If the sound doesn't have 500 Hertz frequencies, you can emphasize that frequency, but you basically don't hear it. So that's why when we use the filter for a little bit of the higher frequencies, they nest around the start of the kick, because that's where the sweep is, that's where the higher frequencies also are. So that's just an extra tool you can use to emphasize the punch of a kick. Again, if you want to learn more about sound design, synthesis, grab a copy of the Sound Design for Beginners Guide in the description down below. With that being said, I hope you like this trick, this tip. If you do, and you want more content like this, just click that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell also, and that makes sure that you won't miss anything I post or any video that I upload. So click it. I'd like to have you there, and if you have a question, just drop a comment down below, and when I have the time I'll try to answer everyone. So I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.